Morning and welcome to Matt's Rocks. Today I'm going to work on this next white Lake Superior agate. Should have got it wet first. I did one already. I cut two. I cut a red one and a white one. I got 4 slabs off the red one and 5 off the white one. And I'm going to go ahead and slab them all together. But I'm just going to do video each one at a separate video. These ones aren't as fractured. The white ones aren't as fractured. They do have. Let's see if I can find it in here. Yeah, they've got the parallax banding in it, both the red and the white. So I'm gonna go ahead and start on this one. Start out over here on the 80 grit. Better zoom you in. We'll start shaping it first. Got quite a bit of stuff to cut off on this side. Got a few vugs I'm going to try to get to the bottom of, but I don't know if I will get all the way. It lets a little bit of light through, but it'll get more when I get it thinned out. I'll check my water real quick. I think I'm still good, but oh yeah, I'm still good. I haven't been using as much. I've been working with this a lot longer. I was using it up pretty quick because I was turning it on so high. Now I'm running it a little too low sometimes, and I shouldn't. Wait a minute. Before I go any further, I'm going to pause this and redo. Okay, I'm back. I had to empty my sand and grit out of the bottom of my tray here because it was clogging up my drain hole. I was going to do that yesterday and forgot. So I paused the video. I'll edit out some of that. Going to run an experimental, or I should say exploratory grind around the outside here so that I can see where my fractures are going at around the edges. Make sure, because I'm going to have to plan for those a little bit. I had one of the red ones chip off after I got it all finished and got it through the cerium oxide or the aluminum oxide and final polish on my flat lap, which I didn't have to take the other two that I made since then, or one that I made then and one that I made since then. This one here, this white one didn't have as many fractures through it as the red ones did. This one should be all right. This is the one fracture I'm worried about because it kind of comes in here. It's a chip, so it comes across there on that left side. You can probably see it over here. A little triangle poking in towards the center. Oh, actually, that other part of it's a saw mark. It's only one crack. I thought it connected to another crack coming in from the other side. It kind of looks like it, but it doesn't. When I held it up to the light again, I could see for some reason there's a weird shaped triangular section right there where I cut. I don't know how that got there. It's weird. So I cut this by hand. Huh. Oh well. I'm going to go ahead and start the doming part of the face first. That'll help me. I keep getting my knuckle up against that darn 220 grit. Getting a little too familiar with this scabbing machine. Been doing that a lot the last 2-3 days. My fingernails has been ground in some places clear back by the quick on the, back in here. Some of them. There's a red chip. Come out of here. That part's going to be gone when I get done with it anyway, so. And it's just a little eye intrusion. Probably a little bit of red out in here too. This one here is just basically rust in a fracture is what that is. But cut pretty level too, I'm surprised. Cutting it by hand, I don't seem to, I've got one eye that doesn't see as well as the other, so it kind of sets my depth perception off. And I was having a hard time with cutting them by hand. That's why I bought a 10-inch slab trim saw, that combination slab saw and trim saw that has a vise and auto feed on it. That gives me a little more control over the thickness on my calves, because I was getting them real lopsided and it was taking forever to fix them. Especially on agates, it's hard to grind down all the way, get them all the same thickness all the way across. Especially when you got one that's an eighth of an inch thicker on one end than it is on the other. I was having some like that, not many, but a few. A lot of it had to do with trying to hold the stone in the right position too. It was because the stone's odd shaped and you couldn't clamp it down and keep it in the same position for each slab, so it was harder to, and with the stone not being flat on any one side where you could use that to help you steady it, it made it a little harder to do. Take that whole section off. You can see that fracture there, and it wraps around to the other side. Just a little chip right there. That whole yellow section is probably going to come off. I'm going to have to get down at least to the lower level of it where this last white fortification line's at right here, because there's a vug here that goes down to that level. Trying to try to keep the rest of that yellow on this end. That's part of an eye. I don't know if I'll be able to. Probably not. I'd like to be able to, but I may leave some of this vug in here just because it's in the actual agate. left too many of them on the other one, the other 3 that I've done. Just because they had, the one had so many, the red ones had so many fractures in them. I think there's fortification lines in this white around these eyes. Some of them, maybe. Chips come out there in that corner. I thought them come out when I went around it. That one fractured that. There's a bunch of lines in that too. And the fracture doesn't go in very far, and it's been healed mostly. Gotten through the fracturing part. Still got a little bit on there that's fracturing. Kind of like this agate was starting to peel right here on this edge. I think that's where one of the main inlets was. Now there's the main inlet there. Let the water in, or let the fluid in. I don't know if it was all water, but it was fluid to start the agate process. Take that off, because I know my luck. If I don't get that chip off of there, it's going to come off after I get it done, and then I'm going to have to go back and redo the stone a little bit. I won't have to do all of it, but I don't want to have to do that. I got other things I want to do. Kind of trying to get a little variety. That's why I'm kind of wondering why I decided to do all of the agate from the same rock. Or all of the slabs from the same rock, like I'm doing. All 4 of the red ones from the red agate, and all 5 of the white ones from the white agate. I just know I don't like, or I'm getting a little tired of working on Brazilian agates because they're so hard to... Ha! Oh, that's a different chip. Nope, that's the chip I was after. See? Told you it was going to come off. Came off a little deeper than I thought it was going to, though. Evidently it went down into the agate on this other side, the other face, a little further. So I'm going to have to lose this white eye here, mostly, in order to get that out of there. and this little eye here, but I'm not worried about that end heel all that bad. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it right where it's at. As far as the main shape, it's allowing a lot of water through, or air, light through. I'm going to leave these, some of the little bugs on there. Got one there, two on that side. I'm going to leave those there because they're kind of showing what the outside of the rock looked like to begin with. And so they're not going to detract from it. Got a little dark spot there. I wonder what that's from. Some inclusion, I'm sure, but it's not something that's been spilt on it or soaked into it. It's part of an inclusion. Okay, let's go to the 220 grit, smooth this out, get our flat spots out of it. Where did I get that at? I wonder if that came from the foray of digging out my sand and grit off the bottom, or if I got that somewhere else. It's just black stuff. I don't know what it was. Just strange. Oh, there's a little. Okay, that fracture tilts right there, so that. I don't know if you can see it, but you see the light. You see the fracture right above my finger there. See how it's light colored a little ways back up from it, away from my finger, from the edge of the fracture, just a little bit. That means it's at an angle, and there's an air pocket underneath it. So I may end up having to grind that down a little further in order to keep it from chipping off on me later. Like when I get it done polishing it and I drop it accidentally, which is what happened to the last one. A little bit of fracture on that one too. That's alright though, we'll get this sorted out. I don't think I'm going to have to grind too much off of that before it either goes away or becomes or gets to the right angle where I don't have to worry about it chipping off. If it goes straight down into the stone, it ain't going to chip off like it will if it's at an angle like that. I think I might still have just a touch left of my little fracture or little chip. Over here. Nope, I got it all off. Trying to get all my flat spots out now. At least some of them. Get them down where the other wheel will take them off, or the next wheel will take them out completely. Okay, let's dry it off, see what we got. Getting harder to see them. It's going to be even harder to see the scratch, anything but scratches until it's dry. It's getting smoother. It's not going to be quite as Hey, I believe we're ready to go on to the 280 grit. Before I do that, let me see if I can't get some of these, what look like spall marks off, just in case. I didn't do that last time, so I had to come back to get them out. And then this time I want to get them out on this one. There's just a few right there. I think I got enough of that fracture down where it's not so light above the crack, above the fracture, past above my finger and the fracture, because it was going to be a chance that it would flake, and I think I've got it down small enough now that with the rest of the wheels it'll take it the rest of the way off. I got a little bit of the same problem right there, but that's a real small section. I've got a little flake right there I better work off. Didn't see it. I need to round that corner off a little better anyway. Yeah, I had a little chip ready to come off. I got it off. Completely gone, sir. A bit of a fracture in there too. It's mostly a little bit of white agate in there. Thought I'd leave it, let it cool. And I can get those flat spots out on the next wheel. Okay, 280 grit. I always do that. I turn it up real high to get the wheel wet, and I forget to turn it down, so I stick stone on there and then it splashes me in the face. It's worse, it gets on my glasses. Then it dries into a white spot. And I have to clean them with a towel other than the one I've got in my lap, because it's got so much more white rock dust on it that I'd end up with a dusty pair of glasses. So much dust on it. Turned it down too far. No, I didn't work that other side long enough. Did that to begin with. I was curious. Left a little bit of an edge on my bug here. Don't know that I care for that. Don't know how to keep it from being sharp either. It's not that sharp though. Could take a dremel tool and knock that edge off of it, but I don't think I need to worry about it. Yeah, you have to run your finger over the right direction, and it's not going to stick out. You have to put something down inside of it, so you got to have some pressure on the stone when you pressure down in order to feel it. I mean, if you just run your hand across it, you don't really feel it unless you add some pressure to it. I had a rough spot on here, but I can't remember where it's at, so I'm just going to work both of them. Both faces. Put it that way. You didn't know what I was talking about because I was thinking out loud. This one looks like it's going to be easier than the other one. I swore this was a new towel and it's already thrown off white dust. When I move it. Is. ain't worked the stone this way on here anyway yet. Lengthwise. Otherwise, it's looking good. The other side's almost ready. I'm going to run it this way just in case. I do think I have got a few little small side-to-side scratches from this wheel that I need to take out. Look at that. Let's switch ends. Wow. I just only used this on one stone yesterday. It's probably because I've been using so little water. Let's turn that up while I'm thinking about it. I don't have as much dust on the stones when I dry them off. I won't have as much powder in my towel. Who'd have thought? It was a drawback to not having to refill your water every 5 minutes. Of course, I'm using 10-gallon buckets, 10-gallon Rubbermaid trash cans actually. So I got them in ours. Got tired of going and getting a 5-gallon bucket every 3 minutes. Yeah, it was longer than that, but it seemed like 3 minutes. You just get lost in doing this. It's relaxing. It's therapeutic. Although I got no reason to need to relax. I'm retarded. I mean retired. I can relax whenever I want to. I don't have to have an excuse. Tells me that's just not quite as good as it should be right there in that center. Need to let the dang thing dry completely off so I can tell. Okay, that got my scratches, lengthwise scratches out. At least got them down where they're manageable anyway, I should say. Yeah, still got some sideways scratches on this. These ones aren't fortification lines. Got 'em. Okay, let's dry this thing off, let it dry. Pretty sure I'm ready to go to the next wheel, but I gotta check my edges again real quick. Look for flat spots, that kind of stuff. Flat lip on that edge. There. glasses. I don't know why I just turned that down. I'm probably going to be turning it off here in a second. Yeah, I had like a ski slope coming down one side. Okay, that one's ready to take to the next wheel. 600 grit. If I do say so myself, it's looking pretty good. Oh, he's shooting a pistol. I wonder what my brother was doing. I've been hearing these bangs. I thought it was a hammer. I got my headphones in. Edges are pretty good. You can see it's still got that bugs. I'm going to leave those in there just because they look good. They bring a little bit of character to the stone. Oh, wow. That's the first time I noticed that fracture there. I'd seen that fracture, and you can tell that it's got air gap in it because there's different color in the lines on either side of it. Fracture going towards the butt end here, right there above my finger, and it wraps around the other side. And comes clear back into about the same distance that it is on the other side, where it starts on the other side. So that's a pretty good sized fracture. And if that breaks off, that's going to take a real big chunk of agate with it. I don't think it will, but I don't know that it won't. Let's see some more. But I let this dry so much you can see my spall marks on that face in that center white section. There's 2 or 3 small spall marks. I think they're spall marks. They may be inclusions, but I want to get them out of there. So I'm going to get them out of there now before I do. I think that's where I've been making my mistakes. Why I've been having to drop back so many times. But it's not like it's hard. All you got to do is turn on the water. The wheel's already turning. They all turn at the same time. So. They may be inclusions, and they may not. But I have to find out, and I have to find out now. What's bad is I've worked on so many of these forever and not been able to get them out. Yet I'm still trying. Only because I have success with some of them. So I think they actually are inclusions, but yeah, I don't know if that one's going to come out. That's a lower one. I had two lower ones. So I got some more over here too. I didn't see till just now. I think they're inclusions because you can't see them on the surface. They're not. It's not a break or fracture in the surface of the agate, so they're inclusions. Leave them alone. I may be able to get them down a little less recognizable on the next three wheels. Okay. There we go. I'm going to start off on this stone. Got a little line there, but I don't think it's... Oh, I see what it's from. I know what it's from. I thought it was just different hardnesses in the agate. There's no fortification line between the spot that was shinier and the spot that wasn't, that left the line, making it look like a flat spot. I've had that happen in agates before. One piece will be shinier than another until you get it all polished. But there is different hardnesses in there in different places. I don't know how that happens, but it does. I'm assuming, if my calculations are correct, I calculate a lot. I seem to over-calculate most of the time. Overthink, in other words. I just wasn't tilting the stone far enough at the end of my run when I was running it lengthwise on there. At the bottom or the top. That's why whenever I do the sides, I always go way past the edges in order to get that caught up. It's always good to overlap. Okay, it's feeling really good now. No, it's not ready for the next wheel, but we're going to look at it anyway. See what I got to work on. Got a couple of pieces of either silver or crystal, and a couple of them. No, one of those is on a couple of them. Oh, maybe there's crystals on the edge of the fortification line right in here. This last fortification line, see that dark spot? That's agate, and you can see the depth of the agate. There's all kinds of little dots on it. But some of them are throwing back a metal type reflection. Got some over here too. It may have some metal in it. that way too far down. Yeah, the whole center of that bug, the center is where my inclusions are at that I thought were spall marks. It's cloudy still, or dull still. For some reason I wasn't getting to it, running it lengthwise on there. So it may be a little softer. I'd say the center part's a little newer than the rest of it. See some long way scratches in it too. That's why you get different hardnesses. That's part of my calculations. As it's filling, wherever it stops filling and settles out and evaporates, and then it fills again and settles out and evaporates, and that's what makes your lines. It's the conglomeration of the minerals forming together after it evaporates and dries out, I'm assuming, and then it just fills, and then it fills again and evaporates and fills again and evaporates, and that's how you get your lines. Sometimes you get crystals growing on the faces of the evaporated minerals, and so those stick up, and that's why you got stuff that looks like that. Or you get metal minerals also that form on there, that it's usually forming a crystal type pattern, I think. Pyrite type stuff. I don't know about all the other stuff. I know pyrite kind of has a crystal shape to it. It's square, but it's got crystal cleavages just like your regular, or not cleavages. I think cleavages are breaks. Planes, I guess you could say. Still got quite a bit of dullness in that center. Take it to the other side of this wheel. Should have looked to see if they were still lengthwise scratches in it. Didn't pay any attention, just because it was dull. Well, I'm getting them out of there, but now I got to... Oh yeah, I forgot that cloudy, that biggest gap here on the darker little line on the, at that point right there, the darker agate in between lines, that's wider right there at the point, just in from the point. It's got crystal in it, so it's going to be dull-ish. Because it's got pits in it from the crystals. Had that happen on the last stone that I did. This is only the second one I did on this one. Done two of the red one, but only one of the white ones. This is the second white one. Okay, that's got all the lengthways scratches out of it. It's not as dull as it was. And so that means the scratches that are in it are from this wheel, so I can go to the next wheel. let me try some more on this. I need to try again to get these these inclusions that look like spall marks out, just in case I'm wrong. I've still got some sideways scratches that look like they may be from the 280 grit in there also. That's why I'm running it lengthwise to see if I can get them out. If I can get them out and leave long way scratches, then I'll go on to the next wheel. Sideways scratches are still there. They don't have anything to do with the spall marks that are still there, because you can't see the spall marks don't show up as scratches. So let's work a little more to get those sideways scratches out of it. Or at least turn them into long way scratches, either or. If I turn them into long way scratches, then I know that it's from this wheel. Okay, that got rid of them and only left me a few little long way scratches where it was down at the bottom of my run, where I stopped on the bottom of the wheel. I got a little dull spot, but rough spots on my edges. I think all the flat spots are gone, but every once in a while you'll get a little bit of a rough spot on there that where you've nicked the wheel with not enough pressure, so it left scratches rather than cut anything. And sometimes it's where inclusions are popping out, so our bugs are opening it up. This was neither nor. A little bit of a gulp on that corner. I think I kind of got on the edge of a fortification line, the flat edge. Cutting off that end, because that's where that chip was at. Oh, I see what it is. It's actually the crystals in between the fortification lines in the center of that, because some of that agate in between those fortification lines has crystals in it. And then, like I said, those lines may look like lines here, but they go deep into the stone. That's how you get the parallax banding, but they go deeper into the stone, and so they've got a flat face. This way it looks like a line, and over here that's where all the crystals form. And sometimes they're loose when the next batch of water comes in. But you can see there's a gap in between. There's lots of lines under this, but they're lower than these lines here. I like that. That's cool. Same with these three inner lines here. They're high like these. The three or the one in between and the ends of the second one around here at this end, they're lower too. Looks like this side of that part right there it tips down into the stone like this. I hope you're seeing that. You're not. I'm sorry. I'll show you when I get done with this, because I didn't realize my hand wasn't on camera. I'm up underneath the light where I can see what I'm talking about, and wasn't looking behind me at the camera. Can't look both ways at the same time, so. I just love these stones. They're just perfect. I like the way that Mother Nature puts them together. Okay. I hope I didn't spin this around where the battery side's on this side again. I normally start with the edges, but I'm worried about these lines that look like spall marks. I want to work on this face a little bit first, in case I decide I'm going to step back 2 wheels. I doubt I will, but like I said, they're not showing up. They're not like the last ones on the red agate. The red agate were like tubes with crystals in the center. So when you got down into them and cut the top edge off of that tube long ways, you ended up with a crack that looked like a fracture. Yet it was spotted with holes like it had crystals coming out also. And that kind of that's not happening with these spall marks. They're not, or what I thought was spall marks. They're inclusions. But they don't show like a crack. Even the ones that I got off of there, they didn't turn into a crack before I got them off. And then I went down ahead and ground down through the rest of it, you know. That didn't happen. Okay, now that I've got that out of the way, that face looks really good actually. Already. There's a little bit of difference in that white on that outer edge that where at the bottom of the pocket that filled in this center of this center of this nodule. Right out here, I got there's this little spot here that's a little wider than the rest of it. When you're doing this edge, it looks like it looks like it comes to a point, but it's not. It's just the trick of the light colors. As you can see up here, or well, actually you can see up here, where you got the back machine to look at if you can see that close. I'm not sure how. I think this is pretty good magnification from what I noticed the other day when I was checking out the footage. So I had to look and see which, because I did 2 rocks the day before yesterday. I did 2 rocks at the same time, or not the same time. I did the red one, then I did the white one, but I filmed both of them on the same day. And so when I went to download the footage to my external hard drive, I had to separate them out, one for the red agate, one for the white agate, into different folders. And when I did that, I don't even remember what the heck I was going to say now. Lost track. I caught my finger on the edge of that wheel, thought I was going to cut myself. I don't even know what point I was trying to make. Maybe it'll come to me in a minute. If it doesn't, I'll cut this out. Probably not, but well, that's weird. Can't even remember the point I was trying to make. Okay. Fortification lines are coming into at an angle on that edge right out here, and the fortification lines are showing. Makes them look like scratches. Which they actually probably are, kind of, sort of. Separated anyway. Yep, I did turn that thing around, didn't I? Okay, that's got them down there. Why do I have a dull spot in the center of this? Oh, because I haven't worked that yet. I'm still on the side that I finished the first time. Did one face and then went back to the outside edge again, or went to the outside edge. Lengthwise scratches. I don't know if they were put there by this stone or not. Kind of got most of the dullness out, but I had the long way scratches, so I wanted to find out. Yep, they're from this stone. The thing is, they were in that agate between fortification lines that has the most crystals in it also, so that's why it made it look weird. Okay, that wheel didn't take long. Fortification line showing up, kind of like a gouge. I'm running lengthwise, but they're only about 2 or 3/16 of an inch long. got them enough to where the next wheel will take them off. Back to the other side of this. Just checking all the edges again. Check all of them again, I should say. Make sure there ain't anything else that I missed. That right there. Lubrication line right on the edge was spitting out some crystals. I made some scratches. Got it. Ready. Oops. Dry it off again. It's got a real good shine to it now already, but I've still got a wheel left. Why not use it? Besides, I might be able to get them spall marks out of here. Maybe they're not what I think they are. I don't know. I was thinking because they said spall marks are formed by heat, I was thinking, and they said it kind of separates the agate. I don't know. It still got me a little stumped, so I haven't had a full explanation. I'll look it up maybe one of these days. I've just watched so many videos on doing this that, and they don't really highlight on that topic as much. Like I said, most of the people that you watch, they're showing it, but once they start the rock on the first 80 grit wheel, they'll show you a little bit of that, them shaping it, and they might stop after that, and then they'll fast forward through the rest of the shaping it until they get it shaped. And then they may show you what it looks like shaped, and then they'll go to the next wheel and they'll fast forward through it, and then each one after that they'll just fast forward to until they're done, and then they'll show you the rock. And I'm trying to cover some of the things that you end up finding out on your own when you're going through that process. So that's why I'm trying not to fast forward through any of it when I edit these. But it's making them awful long, so I might have to change my mind on that. Because some of these rocks take 4 hours, especially the bigger ones, 4 and 5 hours. And these smaller ones can sometimes take 3. I think I spent 3 hours on the first red one that I did, because it had more fractures, and I ended up having a chip pop out when I was down here on the 1200 grit and had to go back to the 800. Well, actually I had to go back to the 220 to get that chip out, and then go through each stone again just in that area to fix that, and then go from there to the flat lap for the aluminum oxide, and then I dropped it and chipped out another piece. So I had to go back through and actually with it I had to go to the 80 grit instead of the 220 grit, because it was just fairly deep. It's a lot deeper than the first chip I took out or had to fix. And it was in the same section of the agate, actually on the same fracture. Just that fracture running all across the face, lengthwise, kind of down. It was kind of like this outside stuff here. It was more pure agate more chalcedony than agate. but it chipped out again later on because it was at an angle too, like this first one that I was talking about on this stone today. Let's see what we got. See if we're done yet. Would be real nice. Darn notification sounds. I hate it when it plays those. Okay. Place where the fortification lines are at an angle showed up again. May not be able to get them out of there. And that was where the water that was coming in at was coming in from. That's where it all came in from. Up here at this, that's the main flow channel. And as you can see, it filled up to that, so evidently it was more or less laying like kind of at an angle like this when it filled. That's why you've got the tilt in that. Okay, let's see if I got that out of there. Now that I've flipped it over a couple of times, can't remember which side I was working on. Oh, did I say that out loud? Okay, that's the side I was working on. Right here where there's a little more grit. See if that helped. If it didn't, it made it worse. I'm just going to get it the best I can in the center, from the center of that wheel, and call it good. Well, that got out the sideways scratches anyway, and the thing about it is the scratches that are still there aren't really following the fortification line. It may be because the fortification line got real thin there, and it's not actually a fortification line, but the crystals are still there. I don't know. The right spot on the dang agate dummy. Okay, they're working out. Still have sideways scratches in the center there. Feels up. I got a spot in there. It's like I spit on it after I dried it off. Cool beans. That got it. Sideways scratches that were there. Dry off the rest of this hand before I flip that over to look at the other side, because I believe I've got it all wet again. Still got some sideways scratches in there. Right in that vug that's, or in between the two fortification lines that I was talking about, that's cloudy with crystals. They're in that fortification, that wider fortification, or wider agate area that is not interrupted by fortifications. Actually, there's only one. That got it. And that also cleared up some of my cloudiness that I was getting in that fortification. Now that was on this side. Hopefully I can get that out. I don't want to have to take it to the cerium oxide, only because I got a bunch of slabs stacked on my plate for my discs that I cut the other day, that I took off of my table with my saw the other day, so I could make room for the ones that I cut the other day. These are the ones I cut before that. Some labradorite and some Brazilian agate, a piece of jasper that I haven't cut yet. At least I think it's jasper. And it might even be man-made jasper, I don't know. My cousin and aunt brought, it was actually my cousin. My aunt didn't bring me any plastic crap. I ended up with a slab of glass, red glass, 2 different shades of red, kind of swirly pattern, and a piece of jasper that was red and gray-ish. That I'm pretty sure it's real, but it's just got such a weird pattern. Kind of made me think it might not be. But that's it right there. There's the dry side. I've never seen any jasper like that, but I think it's cool. Got a big fracture running down it, down through here. Maybe okay, so it had 2 fractures. That come off the end. That one didn't break, so it may be healed some. I can still see this edge, but this edge, yeah, I can still see it too. Chunk off of it. I don't know why I'm messing with that. I'm working on stone, and I'm almost done with it. Let's get back to what I was after. That's not the side. I'm sure I didn't get all that cloudy out of it yet. No, but I'm close. getting enough out of it anyway. Well, there's no, as long as it's just little kind of hole type pit type things. That's basically what it looks like. I say it's dull because they're so close together that you don't see much of the shine, but it may come out of there. I'll run it lightly enough on the wheel. Change my angles up a little bit to keep from leaving scratches in the same direction that I've been working. Still got crystals breaking out of it. Because it's leaving scratches each time I touch the wheel with it. So I may have to take it to the aluminum oxide. It's not leaving them sideways yet. A little more pressure on there, see what happens. Maybe I wasn't putting enough. I weren't. Okay. Learned something. Something I already knew, but I was just too stubborn to actually believe it. Or not that I wanted to believe it, or didn't want to believe it. I was wanting to keep from wearing out my darn wheels as quick. Okay, I'm going to take this to the cerium oxide, or to the aluminum oxide. I do still have a few crossways scratches on there too. On the other face. Flipped the stone the opposite direction, which made them show up. Yeah, you know what? Either I worked them on them on the wrong side. Nope, I just got them out. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm only going to have to hit this when I do take it to the aluminum oxide, just in the center of the two faces where that crystal's popping out, because I think all the edges are as good as they're going to get. But I didn't run it lengthwise around those edges. I had a little bit of a dull spot that I wanted to take out. Wasn't not shiny, it was cloudy. So it had kind of a satin finish rather than a dull finish. It was on this white agate too, so. And this darker colored agate kind of has a sheen to it, but that's part of the inclusions that are in it. I think those were either fractures or fortification lines in this end piece of agate, but nope, it was just scratches. That's good. So now, make sure it's completely dry. My fingers are dry. Keep a hold of it really good. Show you what I got. See how those little dull spots in there that I'm going to be taking out. Now let me do this too, so I don't have to do this after I get done, what I haven't showed you yet. Look how much light comes to it. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I like this agate. I like these agates, but so many of them. You get so many of them, it's just quartz in the center. Red skin on the outside, quartz in the center. Brown skin on the outside, quartz in the center. Okay, I can shut this off now. And let me go ahead and stop this and start it again when I get it aimed at the flat lap. Okay, here we go on the flat lap. Already put the pad on there, put the disc on there that I need, and got it all wet. I'm just going to do the faces. Oh, that don't feel good. Feels like I got a chunk of something on there. I know I don't see anything on it, but it might have just been a clod of aluminum oxide that was stuck together from being wet and dried out, and then getting dried out. But there's all kinds of little holes on this, so I may have gotten a chip or something down in one of those holes. Okay, Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, that's got it. I don't know if you can tell the difference. I can, but you might not be able to see it on this. And I dropped it again. Luckily it didn't go as far as it would, but it did hit the wooden floor. I don't remember which side I showed you. Oh well, I'll just show you both sides. But that got those little scratches out of the face. And it lightened up some of those, or got some of those pits where they're not as dull looking around the pits and that thicker, wider agate in between inclusion lines, or fortification lines. But anyway, that one's done. And let's see if we can get the, let me change glasses. I guess I could shut this off too. It's not making as much noise. What I'm going to try to do is show you the parallax bands so I can felt that bug and just thought I had a chip. I don't know if it's showing up. I can't tell. Shows up better on this other side too, though, I think, because the center bug's a little smaller. Hopefully you can see it there. I know it sticks out like a sore thumb. Oh, it's in this. It's in these lower bands too, more than anything. On this side of the this one here, it's in the top ones on this side. Okay, but that's it. That one's all done. Well, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like. I don't want to force anybody to do anything. Share, leave a comment. I would like to hear your comments, see how I'm doing. If I ever get them put on the air or on YouTube, we'll be able to find that out. But until then, have a good day, and thanks for watching. See ya.